When I helped design my line of AMF Roadmaster wheels, I said make them red, white, and blue to bear my name, Evel Knievel. You can see they're built solid, flashy, and hip, and the bikes come with these safety tips that bear my name, Evel Knievel. So if your kids are thrilled, I know just how they feel. These wheels are real exciting and bear my name, Evel Knievel.
Hi, this is Evel Knievel, and you're watching Born to Ride.
Thanks for tuning in to Born to Ride TV, the longest running biker TV show in the world.
Hey, man, I think we're in Choppertown. Choppertown. Oh, Choppertown. Choppertown. Choppertown.
All this and more here on Born to Ride.
Born to live, live to ride, ride to live, I was born to ride. American built, we forever unite, and that's the deal, I was born to ride. Down in Tampa, to Miami, Daytona, Tallahassee, from the East Coast to the West Side, here in Florida, we were born to ride. I was born to live, live to ride, ride to live. I was born to ride. American built, we forever unite, and that's the deal. I was born to
Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Hey, it's Debbie with Born to Ride. Tune in every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. on the Boss Hog Radio, a fast hour of good talk. Good biker talk, what you really want to hear.
Welcome back to another edition of Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hog Radio Network.
I'm telling you, man, we got a great show planned today. We got Eric Runyon in the studio with us.
Finally got me here.
Yeah, man, and you know we're gonna talk about Choppertown. Fish, thanks for being on the show, but let's get right to it. What were you thinking, and how did that happen, man? What's your side of the story on this?
Well, you know, I thought George won. You're humbled when you win something like this stuff, but like Eric was saying, the prize that's a lot of stuff to give to a winner, and that's the right thing to do, to spread it around.
That was way cool, man. And so,
man,
Dave, what do you think of that motorcycle? You got anything to ask about it?
Yeah, I got to tell you something. You know, this is. You can ask Eric this. This is a true thing. You know, thanks to you, Ron, because you did a video walking through the whole building, and it's at least a half-hour video.
It is, yeah.
And what Ron did is he took a camera and he just walked through from the very outside of the building. We can see the signage and everything, and he walked through and he took his time and he looked at every bike in the building. And you can ask Eric, this is absolutely true, because I don't know what day that you did that, Ron, but it was well before, you know, anybody picked winners of the bikes that were in the building. And I picked that bike for Best of Show. I mean, if that were in one of our bike shows, that bike would have been Best of Show. And it has to do with when you walk up on a motorcycle, it just sits right. You look at it, and the first thing you think is, I would love to ride that bike, you know, and you start looking at it. You look at the fit and finish. I mean, actually, the last thing when you're judging a bike, the last thing you look at is the paint. That's kind of like the icing on a cake. You know, you look at the fit and finish, you look at all the handmade parts, you look at all the little, tiny little details that the builder went out of their way and spent their you know, blood, sweat, and tears to build. And the last thing you look at is things like the paint and the seat. And on this particular bike, you know, the builder did everything, absolutely everything. It's amazing. And, you know, Eric and I were going back and forth texting, and I said, that's your bike. That's your winner right there. And it's just, there were a lot of beautiful bikes there, but that one stood out. You know, that one it ticked all the boxes, as they say, you know.
Well,
so congratulations, really, on that motorcycle. Gorgeous bike.
Fish, tell us about that motorcycle, because it was the winner.
It took about 10 months to a year to build. It started in the tail end of 2019, and it had a bunch of different designs that was going to go on with it. It was being built for the People's Champ competition for Born Free of last year, and it was kind of tricky because in the beginning, you know, it's a competition where you make different tiers of completion to advance in the competition. So at the beginning, it wasn't really supposed to be such a crazy show bike, but they challenge you to do, you know, the idea is to do everything yourself. So the bike, you know, it morphed throughout the process, which was challenging because, you know, in a good way, because you're learning and trying to do different stuff that you normally wouldn't. Design areas and you know, and all that stuff. So you know, the paint job is split down the middle. One side is House of Color Tangerine, the other side is House of Color Root Beer, with the mural on the top. And you know, most of the controls are made out of stainless, hand fabricated exhaust, and you know, I built the wheels, and you know, just everything. It's a lot, you know.
The seat as well, right?
Yeah, all the leather stuff I did as well to try to, you know, make the whole thing kind of fit together. And, you know, from front to rear, it all has to flow. And, you know, it's a big design challenge to do something like that. George's bike does the same thing. Yeah. You know, the whole thing fits together. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know, I would say, honestly, I probably stewed on that for close to a month before moving forward with everything you're going to do like that. And a lot of these bikes that you see out there that are of the level of George's and you know, a ton of other people out there, it takes a lot of planning to get it all to fit right.
So you gave away the Paco frame. You had $1,000 from Joe here, and then
thank you again, Joe.
Anytime, brother. You did a great job.
And tell us about the impact of the Mondo factor from Dave Nichols' connection and Mondo just welcoming builders like you guys to carry on that great tradition. And he told me himself, man, he really, really appreciates the vision that you guys are having.
Well, I can tell you what, that frame, or that front end, I want to build a crazy bike around that thing.
Well, that's what I'm hoping we'll see next year.
Mondo's coming to the next one. He's going to be there.
He's talking about coming to the next one, so that'd be awesome.
So the factor of that, was that cool or what?
Man, it's so cool, and that's a very impressive part. You know, everything about that front end, you know, and I have a huge amount of respect for Mondo, you know, so that to have that front end sitting in the shop, it's almost like it haunts me every day when I walk in going, better get on it. So there's a little bit of a plan. I don't know if it'll make it we'll see what happens for next year, but definitely within the next year and a half, I plan on making a pretty serious motorcycle around that front end.
I wanted to ask you about the tank, man. That artwork on the tank. Tell me about that lion, or is it a tiger? I'm sorry,
It's
tiger.
a tiger.
Tell me about that tiger, man, because it's one of a kind. You just don't see them like that.
Well, the tiger is. I'm fortunate that one of my closest friends. I got to kind of give credit where credit's due. One of my closest friends is Mike Wilson. He's a tattoo artist, and in 2018, I went to a paint class called the Brushmaster's Getaway, and they encourage you to kind of draw your own artwork. So I started on a program 2 years ago to try to kind of polish what I had going on, and that tiger head is a logo that he started drawing that we incorporated into a T-shirt. So we incorporated it into the gas tank artwork, and I started making a collage of the bike. Was originally going to be called the Joker and the Thief, and it was going to be a tiger and a snake fighting, and the tiger was going to have the thief's mask, and the snake was going to have the Joker's hat on it. But I couldn't get it to work out quite right, so it kind of got toned down into that art design on the top, But it's a kind of a conglomerate of a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, it's painted all with one-shot lettering, enamel, and a little bit of airbrushing, but it's all done by hand with.
And that was by your hand, because you're the painter as well, right?
Yeah. I really like doing that style of painting. I'm not a very good traditional pinstriper. I like to do pinstriping art. And when I designed the bike, I knew that I was going to do some form of mural on the top. So, that's what we went with.
I mean, that's what so many people, when they mention your name, your company name, or anything about what you do, is you get immersed in the project, and you are all over this bike as far as manufacturing and just making it all happen from the seat with leather work. Some guys are just leather guys. Some guys are just painters. Some guys are builders. But what you brought to the table and what you do is just amazing to so many people. And I know George can rock it out as well. But I mean, what you're known for is the whole motorcycle, and that's very, very unique and very special, man. Very special.
At Crystal Harley-Davidson, the Hog Stars are working hard to get you the most for your trade.
I'm hoping to trade in my old motorcycle, and I really hope to get $3,000 for it.
Hey sir, I'm Bo, General Manager here at Crystal Harley. I just got back from appraising your motorcycle, and the book says it's worth $2,800. But here at Crystal, we're prepared to offer you 25% more. How's $3,500 sound?
Sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Come see the Hog Stars at Crystal Harley-Davidson, where you'll get up to 25% more on your trade-in.
Hey y'all, it's Trace Atkins. One reason I'm excited about the High Seas Rally is their commitment to supporting our military and first responders. I'm proud to be helping High Seas Rally's Salute to Service mission, raising money for Wounded Warrior Project, and celebrating our heroes on the front lines. I'll see you in October 2021.
Hey, that's the deal. I was born to
ride. Sunday, April 25th, 12 p.m. at Papa Beer Bar and Grill, Born to Ride Mega Bash. It's the Shallow Wrestling Championships and Snazzy Suds, the hottest bikini bike wash girls ever. Born to Ride TV taping and magazine shoot. Born to Ride Bike Show. Featuring live in concert Tommy Rocks, the ultimate Southern Rock tribute show. Vendors welcome, call now. It's all brought to you by Rubenstein Law, representing riders since 1988. Think motorcycles. That's Papa Bear Bar and Grill Tampa. Don't miss it, be there.
Hi, this is Johnny at JF Kicks in Valrico, Florida. Last Tuesday of every month, we're doing a bike night from 6 o'clock until about 10. This month, we have Swipe Right playing. We have vendors out in the parking lot, food and drink specials. If any of you recall, we used to do Gators bike nights back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm just bringing that back. I'm the old owner from there. Hope to see you guys here. Thanks a lot.
Come see us Tuesday night for bike night at JF Kids.
Can't wait to see you.
I appreciate that. One of my bigger inspirations is Paul Cox, that worked for Indian Larry. If anyone out there listens familiar with that.
Oh yeah.
But Paul does. He does everything as well, and it started kind of out of necessity when I started doing this as a profession almost 8 years ago. I've been fooling with Harleys for 25 years, but 8 years ago I jumped into it as a profession, and that's kind of what was missing in how a lot of people out there, they do. They're building a bike and riding one, they finish one, sell the one they've been riding to start the next one type deal. And the progression of the motorcycles that were getting completed were missing paint, they were missing a good seat, they were missing proper fabrication, hardware. And that's what I started focusing on in the beginning, because I couldn't really find someone that could do the leather work and some of the paint the way that I had it in my head. And that's kind of maybe the blessing and the curse, I guess.
I was just going to say that's the blessing and the curse of being an artist, because when you envision something before you do it, and just like me as a photographer, I always see the picture before it's done. But as a builder, I can imagine you see the finished bike before you even start it. Well, most of the time, I think all you builders start out with great intentions and a clear idea. Maybe along the way it gets cloudy, but sometimes people can't translate what you see in your head as far as, like you said, the seat goes or the paint goes. There's little details that you see that you can't translate. So you know what, if you can't find somebody to do it, somebody like you can just do it yourself.
Yeah,
correct?
I mean, that's an amazing concept. And on the line we have Dave Nichols, editor of Easy Ride for 23 years now, editor of Born to Ride. And I know Dave wants to talk to you about this motorcycle as well, don't you, Dave? Because this is the one that you actually saw on that video.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, we were talking earlier about how a bike sits, and that is completely up to the builder. They have it in their mind. They picture a motorcycle, first, before anyone actually sees the bike, and it makes all the difference. That bike, it sits right, it looks right, it feels right, everything about it, all the one-off parts, everything about it, that is a show-winning bike. And it's something that it's hard to explain to people. If you're judging a bike show, it's hard to explain to people, why did you pick that particular bike? People will come up and say, well, what was wrong with my bike? And you say, come with me. And you don't walk over to their bike, you walk over to the bike that won and say, look at this. This is why this bike won. And you walk them through why it won so they can then improve what they do. Because it's all about attitude. It's all about the whole, bike builders are different. They're a different breed of people. And they're very special artists that create, these moto masterpieces out of metal. It's pretty amazing. There are few things like this in the world anymore, where you have these artisans that can do this kind of work. And it used to be that there were no aftermarket companies, and the beauty of this particular show is it's like that. The builders that are putting these bikes together, yeah, you can buy this part and you can buy that part and you can make a bike out of them. But these guys, they start with this idea. A lot of them sketch, and they'll sketch out what they want the bike to look like beforehand. But that particular one, man, I'll tell you, my hat's off to you guys for that bike. That is, I can't wait to see it in the magazine as a feature.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that.
I can't wait to see I can't wait to see that 16 over front end on the build by Fish either. I mean,
yeah.
16 over, Maybe
you know what? I got to tell you something. Yeah. The 16 that Mondo makes, when he does a 16 over Springer front end, and you put it, I don't know if it's going in that. It's not going in that Paco frame, but whatever it's going into, you can, honest to God, turn the bars all the way and just make little circles in a parking lot. The bike will be so absolutely balanced. You know, it sounds like, 16 over. No, it's a perfect front end for a chopper.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I was envisioned in my head after this was all over, I was like, well, maybe George can get together with Fish and they can meld this frame and this front end together, and we can see what we can come up with. You know, that's just a fantasy of mine. It doesn't have to happen, but like I said, I can't wait to see what Fish brings to the table next year. And George, for sure, like I said, I've known of him for several years and seen his bikes at several shows. Him and Casey are there a lot. And you know, Casey's his wife, and she's very supportive and really instrumental in what he does. They both really are part of the lifestyle, both part of the culture. And I think that's one of the things that was cool about the show. It wasn't just about the choppers. It was about the vans. It was about the hot rods. It was about the roller skates. It was about the skateboards. You know, there's a certain culture to that, and they all get it. So, you know, I saw George's bike, and just from what I've known of him in the past and the bikes that he's put together, my mind was blown. And as a photographer, you know, I work with girls a lot, and I can see 100 girls standing in front of me, and I can pick one or two out in the split second, which one I know is going to photograph best and do the best as going forward as a model, maybe. And it's the same way with motorcycles. You know, I saw if we had 66 bikes, 70 bikes in this building, and we had Fishes in the front and we had George's in the back, and they both stood out like diamonds. So, you know, I'm just grateful that they made it to the show. Like I said, I've known of George for a while, and it gave me an opportunity to meet him. And, you know, I never met Fish. Fish was probably the only person in that building that I've heard of him, and I've heard lots of stories about him, which were good. And so I was happy that he was there. So it was a great melting pot of builders, pro builders, amateur builders, enthusiasts, and people that just get the culture. And, you know, I think it all came together well. So I'm very grateful that, you know, George and Fish were at this.
We were grateful to be there too. Thanks thank you for having us.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that we want to do is document it properly. So we're in the process of creating quite a few episodes of the TV show from Choppertown, and the current magazine has a 10-page feature. So it's pretty exciting when, you know, we put forth the effort to magnify the greatness of builders like you guys and all the other guys that were there too. That was our mission, is to really magnify the greatness of the lifestyle that we had inside that building and we have every day.
You know what?
Yeah, you know, we're fortunate. It's a great time for it. You know, not that I'm the oldest guy in the room or most experienced or whatever, but in 25 years ago, it wasn't as welcome, and there wasn't as many like-minded people of that age group able to hang out with their friends. It really wasn't where in our neck of the woods, you know. And one of the inspiring things that struck me at the show was how many people just could get together and have a good time like that, you know.
That was awesome. And like you said, and it carried along through Daytona. And your show, you just had a show, was it last Sunday?
Yeah, it was last Saturday.
Last Saturday, a lot of those guys were there, and same group of guys, same group of great people, and good time was had by all, and we look forward to carrying that through 2021 into 2022.
Yeah, we're running out of time, guys. If you need copies of the magazine, we'd be happy to send them to you guys and have them in the shops or where you guys build your bikes. So please reach out to Eric. Real quick, how can people get in touch with you, Fish?
On any of our social media, on Instagram, we're Alleyway Kustoms with a K. We're also on Facebook. Our website is www.alleywaykustoms.com, and we're also at Alleyway Kustoms on YouTube.
Awesome. And George, how do they get in touch with you? Good Looking Customs?
Just type in on Instagram, check it out, Good Looking Customs, and I'm always posting as much as I can.
Okay, certainly appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being part of Born to Ride. And as always, keep it in between the ditches. Stay safe until next Thursday. This is Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hog Radio Network.
If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #BornToRideMotorcycle Media. your #1 motorcycle resource.
At Crystal Harley-Davidson, the Hog Stars are working hard to get you the most for your trade.
I'm hoping to trade in my old motorcycle, and I really hope to get $3,000 for it.
Hey sir, I'm Bo, general manager here at Crystal Harley. I just got back from appraising your motorcycle and the book says it's worth $2,800. But here at Crystal, we're prepared to offer you 25% more. How's $3,500 sound?
Sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Come see the Hog Stars at Crystal Harley-Davidson, where you'll get up to 25% more on your trade-in. A biker destination like no other on the Nature Coast in a town called Inglis off Highway 19. It's the place that everyone is talking about. 21 acres of manicured, beautiful land for you. It's Crossroads Lodge at the historic Lebanon Station. Dates back to the 1800s. A totally incredible biker destination for you and your motorcycle. You have to see this place because once you do, you'll come back again and again. On the second weekend of every month, it's a free swap meet and flea market. For more information, call the number on the screen. It's a biker destination like no other on the Nature Coast in a town called Inglis. It's Crossroads Lodge at the historic Lebanon Station.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride.